Hi, welcome to Library Instruction for EDM510. The Association for College and Research Libraries has identified what skills are needed for a student to be an information literate student. And so I want to talk to you just briefly about what the ACRL, or the Association of College and Research Libraries, has identified as outcomes for an information literate student. An information literate student can refine a topic, identify keywords and search terms, use database limiters such as the date, the type of content such as peer-reviewed research articles versus news articles, and to select appropriate databases. Information literate students can also locate and access information. That means you know how to get to the library's web page, and you know how to access the databases by signing in. And that you know how to navigate to library resources, that you can use the various checkboxes and links in the library's web page in order to access the materials that you need. So these are actually the skills we're going to work on today in this library instruction session. So I have a quick PowerPoint presentation to show you. I've actually saved it here as a PDF. So let's get started. So we did a synchronous session last night with a couple of students and Dr. Gadsden and I, and we forgot to record the session, so I'm re-recording a screencast for you all now. So this is me. I'm Dr. Angela Rand, and I am the College of Education Instructional Librarian. I'm also the director of the library. You probably want to make a note of my email address, because at the end of this tutorial or screencast, I'm going to tell you how you can get some extra points in your class. So arand@southalabama.edu is where you will be sending some information. Here's what we're going to do today. We'll have a presentation, which are these slides on search strategies. I'm going to talk to you about how to fill out your worksheet, and I'll tell you how to share your search strategy. Obviously, we won't have the opportunity for Q&A because this is not synchronous, but you will be able to be invited to email questions to me, or you can call me. So the things that we like to teach you related to skills for library instruction are meant to save you time. In other words, we want to teach you to search the smart way. If you have been using Google or just trying to use the one search box and doing some generic searching and sort of just floundering around in the library's databases, that's not a very efficient way to search. One of the powerhouse moves that you can use when you're learning to search in library databases is to use Boolean search terms. Boolean search terms are and, or, and not. So as seen here in this image, the Boolean search term and, that is the letters A, N, D in capital letters, are served to link to subject terms or to keywords. In this instance, if you put and between education and technology, the library's database will search for all of the articles that have education and technology in the title, in the abstract, and in the same sentence or close to each other in the body of the text. Those are the articles that are presented first in the results list of your search. And so you can see how this serves as a sort of relevancy ranking. The articles that appear in the beginning, in the first 1 or 2 pages, it depends on what your search terms are the ones that are going to be most relevant to your topic. Another way to limit your search is to use or. So or actually broadens your search, and it may be that you aren't sure which kinds of terms are being used to talk about, or to talk about a field, or you want to cast a wide net on the search term. So maybe you're interested in both computers and technology in general in education. So you could use education. You could put education, just education, and computers or technology. So you can mix and match the Boolean search terms. And this is a smart way to create a search string. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you. The main thing you need to know here is that and connects or broadens your search. Or actually, and will help you to refine your search because it makes the library's search engine search on specific topic terms, or searches for both. So in this case, if you put computers or technology, the database searches for the word computers and returns those results, the word technology and returns those results, and the word and then both terms together, and it will look in again the title, the abstract, and the body of the text. So you could imagine that if you are in an educational database and you put computers or technology as your only two keywords, computers or technology, you're going to get a lot of results. It's not a very refined search topic. So if you were to take a topic like cyberbullying and just put in the term cyberbullying, which is not a very refined way of searching, this Wordle or word cloud shows you a variety of aspects of cyberbullying that would probably come up. And so this tells you that you need to refine your search in some particular way. One way to refine your search, just an easy way to refine your search in addition to using Boolean search terms, is to make sure that you are using education databases. Using education databases will narrow the focus of your results to topics related to education and instruction and so on. Some of the useful databases that we subscribe to here in the Marx Library are Academic Search Complete, Education Research Complete, and so on, the list on the left-hand side under the word education. And on the right-hand side, there are some additional databases that you may find useful depending on your topic. So if you're interested, for instance, in how social media influences or increases or detracts from cyberbullying, then maybe you would want to include the Communication and Mass Media database in your search. If you're interested in the psychology of cyberbullying in a particular population, maybe you want to include psych articles into your search. And so this is using the databases is just another way to limit your search so that you're not searching in the math databases and the hard sciences databases. Another way to refine your search is to narrow your topic. And when we talk about narrowing our topic, students will often come to us in the library and say, for instance, I'm interested, I will have to write a paper, and I'm going to write a paper on cyberbullying. Before we ever approach the search engines in the library's databases, we're going to ask the student to sit down and write their research topic out. And just writing your topic out or your hypothesis, what you think is happening, can be very illuminating. And when we get them, if they only can come up with something like a topic, cyberbullying, we'll ask them these questions. Who are you interested in? Like, who could be your perspective? Like, are you a person who is treating or providing interventions for cyberbullying? Or maybe the who could be, who is your population? What is the limitations of your population? Is it K-12? Is it university? Is it international students? Is it college students? Is it teachers? Is it undergraduates? So that's the who. And then where can be related to geographical location, the United States. It could be online. It could be, so maybe you want to know what are the effects of cyberbullying on K-12 students on the playground. Like, does it transfer to the playground? That's another where question. So you're not looking for articles just online. You're looking for some effects that happen after the cyberbullying. And when we talk about when, that can refer to whether or not you're doing a historical perspective on cyberbullying, or maybe you're interested in a certain time period, like since Twitter was invented, or maybe since the beginning of Facebook, or maybe the last 10 years of using Facebook. When can also be a limiter that your professor imposes on you or provides to you in your research. In this case, Dr. Gaston said that your article should be no older than 10 years old. And when we talk about the how of your topic, what we're looking for there is for you to think about your model, your theoretical framework. From what perspective are you thinking? Are you thinking from a psychological perspective? So you can see how these questions really help you to flesh out your thought processes around your topic. And then when we ask about the why could help you think through, why do I want to know this? You are doing this kind of research writing not from a voyeuristic perspective, but you are looking maybe to create an intervention, or you're writing a policy, or you're working with a group of students who are cyberbullies, or you're working with a group of students who are not cyberbullies and you want to help them overcome it. Maybe there's a family situation. You're trying to work with students. If you're a counselor, you're trying to work with a family of the student. That's the why. So these questions are on the worksheet that you had emailed to you, and the worksheet looks like this. So it's a practice with your topic. As we work through this PowerPoint slideshow and doing the actual searches, you can write your topic here and then start just taking notes on this sheet of paper. I would suggest that you do open it up either in a Word document and write on it, or print it out and write on it in pencil, because this is an approach that you can use for every research paper you ever write in your college career, in education, or in any of your other classes. You can use it in your personal life when you're searching in general. So here you can see you write a topic as a full sentence and then list some keywords, try to find at least 3 keywords, and then select the databases to search and use 2 limiters. So I'm going to show all of that to you in the actual search. Number 6 is where you will be able to get some extra points for this class. I'll show you how to share your best search results with me, and in the subject of the email where you share those search results, I'd like for you to write EDM510 _ Gaston _ 2019. And if you send those to me by February the 8th, you can get some extra points. I'll be sharing those with Dr. Gaston, and I'll give you some feedback on your search and maybe help you to refine your search, or maybe just tell you you're wonderful, doing a wonderful job, and you should become a librarian. Okay, so now grab your worksheet. You can pause this recording if you need to, print out your worksheet, or open it up, and you can work alongside me. At any point you have questions, you can send your questions to me at arand@southalabama.edu. You can also call me. My phone number is 461-1979. Okay, so let's do an actual search. From any of the University of South Alabama's web pages, you can get to the libraries. In this menu bar, black menu bar at the top, libraries is always there. So if you click on libraries, the left-hand navigation panel displays all of the various libraries the university has. We want to go to the Marx library. That's the main library on campus, the one that has Starbucks in it. The OneSearch search page is a quick search feature. For you guys, it would be useful to you to look up titles. But this is a very broad, very generic way of searching that we use for incoming freshmen to introduce them to the library's databases. So when you use this one search box, you're essentially searching the library's catalog, government documents, all of the media, and every single database that we subscribe to. So it's kind of a garbage in, garbage out situation. You're going to get a lot of garbage. And I have already told you that the best way to, in advance, refine your searches is to select the appropriate databases. So we're going to go down under Library Resources. We're going to click on Databases and eReference. So this is an alphabetical list of all the library's databases. It's a very long list. And on the right hand side there are some tags which organizes databases by subject. The problem with, we're not going to use the tags view, because if we use the tags view then we would have to search all of the different databases individually. And I'm going to show you an even quicker way to do that by using a multidisciplinary search platform. That multidisciplinary search platform is called Ebsco. So I'm going to click on the E, which brings up all the E databases and platforms, and click on Ebsco. Now if you are off campus when you are using this, you'll be prompted to log into the library's databases using your JAGNet credentials. So I think it's your email or your JAG number and your JAGmail password. Okay, so this is Ebsco's multidisciplinary search platform, and what we need to do now is select education databases. Academic Search Complete. I'm not going to read the description of the databases to you. You can do that on your own. Long experience tells me which ones are education databases. My PhD is in education, and so I have used these databases quite a lot in writing research articles and my dissertation. There's that Communication and Mass Media Complete, which we're not going to select this time. Just wanted to point it out to you that you can search it in addition to education databases. Education Research Complete is a good one. ERIC is a good one. I'll just point out to you, we're going to select Professional Development Collection. Sometimes I get some best practices articles out of here that are useful, but this database is a specialized collection of high quality education journals, 350 peer-reviewed titles. Oh, no, this is the one I'm talking about, Teacher Reference Center. So these are popular teacher and administrator journals and magazines to assist professional educators. So this Teacher Reference Center has a lot of articles like magazines and just professional journals reporting on best practices. So not so much peer-reviewed resources. Teacher Reference Center is still useful because it does report on best practices. There's that Psych Info and Psych Articles which you might use. The rest of the databases are related more to the arts and sciences, the military, and some medical databases. So we're going to go back up to the top and click on Continue. Well, it's being very slow today. Okay, so here we are in the Ebsco platform. If at any time you have forgotten which databases you've selected, you can click on this Choose Databases, and there's a checkbox by all of the databases that we have selected. And this is a more comprehensive view also of the databases. But we're not going to change anything there, so we'll click OK. All right. You can see that we automatically have 3 search boxes, 1, 2, 3, and they're already, the AND Boolean search term is already there if we wanted to change it to OR. I'm going to talk to you about NOT in a minute, but generally we teach students to use AND and OR. So let's go ahead and just do a demonstration. cyberbullying. And we're just going to use the one keyword because I want to show you how many search results this is going to lead to. So 5,000 results on cyberbullying, which is way too many articles for you to make any sense of. So right away, some limiting that we can do, some further limiting that we can do, is right here and click on scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And you can see that it took it down to 2,990. And then let's update the publication date. So I told you that Dr. Gaston wants you using articles no older than 10 years old. And so we'll go to 2009. And it'll update. So you can use the slider or you can type in the date box. And that reduced the number of results that we are getting displayed. Okay, so still a lot of articles. It's kind of unreasonable to expect you to read 2,876 articles. So we do need some more keywords. You would draw these keywords from the work you've done on the keyword worksheet. So that keyword worksheet is just is introducing a strategy which should become a habit to you when you start searching the library's databases. Let's narrow this to a population. College students, and search. Sorry, the database searches are going really slowly today. Everybody must be doing some homework. Okay, our results are down to 196. That's a more manageable number of results. And because we've used an and Boolean search term, then you can see that we're going to get articles about cyberbullying among college students. We can further refine this search result by saying that we are looking for an intervention. We want to know what kinds of interventions or treatments students or others have used when talking about or treating or dealing with cyberbullying. And so let's update that search one more time. Okay, so we updated it in adding interventions, and now you can see that we have 34 articles. So this is a nice, tight group of articles about cyberbullying among college students and interventions that have been used in these situations. The way you would use not, we can add a search field by clicking on this add a row here, and maybe you're seeing a particular kind of intervention or something about these topics that you're not really interested in. And let's see, university setting. Maybe you just keep getting a lot of articles about let's see, I saw a good word here. Too many things about the family environment, so you can just put not family and click that search, and it should remove all the articles that have something to do or have in the title, the abstract, and in the body of the text related to the family. So maybe you're just interested in the individual college students in, without thinking about the family. And so that's how you use not. You use not as a second level or third or fourth level of filtering of your search results. We don't teach it in the front end, teach you to use it in the front end, or recommend that you use it in the front end of your searching, because invariably students will end up eliminating articles that would be really, really useful to them. So use it in this way once you've refined your topic and you're starting to see articles that you like, and maybe some consistency of articles that you don't like, you can use the not to filter out those articles. Okay, so looking at our result list of 29, we can click on linked full text and we are able to read the entire article. Sometimes you'll see a link that says PDF and you can just click on that PDF link. And there you go. This is the article. Go back to the result list and go down. Here's one that says here's the PDF, so you can just click on the PDF and it comes up in the same way in a new page. If you click on, let me show you how to share this search. This is what I want you to share with me. When you get your search results, it says search results right here, 29. When you get your search results down to a manageable number, I'm not going to tell you how many that is, you decide. It should be under 100. Go over here and click on share and then scroll down until you see this use permalink and click on persistent link to search. If you highlight it, right click on it and click on copy. That's the email, that's the permanent URL or persistent link that I want you to email to me. When you email that to me, you can just paste that right into the body of an email. And then when I click on it, I will be able to see what your search terms were. In other words, I'm going to get this page, this results page. I'll be able to see what Boolean search terms you used and what limiters you used. I can see that you changed the date, that you selected peer reviewed, and then I can look at these results and go, and then give you some feedback on things you could do better or more of, or simply tell you that you're doing a great job. So that's your extra points. Remember, you should be looking at a list of search results and click on this share and copy this permalink. I'm belaboring that point because there's another share link that you can get that I do not want you to send to me, and that's for an individual article. I'm going to click on this the title of this individual article. When I click on the individual article, I can see the entire publication information about the article, whether or what journal it was published in, the education level, the database that it was in. On the right hand side there are some more tools. If I click this Google Drive button, lore has it that it saves this publication record with the article. If the PDF full text is available, it'll put it in a Google Drive folder. Some students have said they know where that goes. It doesn't let you identify which folder to put it in. I've not been able to find the folder in my Google Drive folder that it goes into. You could print. If you click on print, email, or save, it print, emails, or saves this publication record. So all of this information here and not necessarily the PDF of the full text. If you click on export, that's to export it to something like a bibliographic management software such as Zotero or Mendeley if you're using one of those, and I think that you should probably be using one as a graduate student. And if you click on create a note and new note, you can type up notes as you read the articles. So as you're reading an article, or at least even if you read the abstract and you have an idea about how that supports, something in the abstract supports what you're saying in your paper, go ahead and make a note of it. Afterwards, you can print out the list of notes, and that can serve as the beginning rough draft of your paper. So if you find 5 articles and you type 2 notes or 3 notes on each article, then you're that much further along to having your paper written instead of starting from a blank sheet of paper. So this is how research is done. This is how we all do real research, is we read a little bit, we write a little bit, we read a little bit, we write a little bit. And if you keep doing this, you'll be much further along when your paper is due. Okay, enough about that. This permalink would only give me a link to this article. This might be useful if you wanted to ask your professor if this would be a good article for you to use. Maybe you've been asked to review an article. You could send him this permalink and say, hey, Dr. Yaston, is this an article I could review, or is this, and he could click on the link and it'll bring him right to this page and he can give you feedback. You get really funky and all fired up about your research, you can share it on your social media. So it would obviously share this publication information, not the actual PDF, because that would be a copyright violation. Okay, we'll close that. I skipped over one button, this Cite button, and if we click on Cite, a new box, this gray box, pops up. In education, we use, and in this class, you'll be using APA style references, and this is not an accurate APA style reference, but it's a good start. So when I'm doing research like this, I will generally open a blank Word document, and if I know I'm going to use an article, I'll grab the information from that citation retrieval, but then you are responsible for fixing everything that is wrong with the citation. And we never ever put retrieve from Ebsco, which is what that was doing. This article should be, this citation should be double spaced, and it needs to have a hanging indent. And so a hanging indent, if you put the cursor on the second line, hanging indent means the second and subsequent lines are indented 5 spaces. So you put the cursor on the second line and hit the tab button. It does move the entire paragraph over, but if you put the cursor up on the top line and go up to the ruler, you'll need to have your ruler turned on, and it's under View, and make sure Ruler is checked. Then you grab the top half of this little triangle and drag it over to the left margin, and that fixes it. Now what you want to do here is, this article did not have a DOI, which is a document object identifier, and you need to include a document object identifier in APA style 6. This one had no document object identifier. This is probably a Canadian publication. So what you need to do, put that aside and get a new tab. And this is sort of extra because I didn't show them this last night. And adult learning, and we want the journal. Adult Learning Journal. It's a Sage journal. This is the home page of the publisher of Adult Learning. See, there's Adult Learning, the journal. And what you want to do is copy and paste this URL. And that's what you put behind here. Just like that. There are some other problems with this, such as the fact that only the first letter of the first word in the title and subtitle should be capitalized, and that Adult Learning, the title of the journal and the volume, should be italicized. Okay? So if you are not sure of how to use APA style, you can come to the library. We have the books, the APA style manuals. We can give you some advice, or you can go to the OWL, the Online Writing Lab at Purdue, and get more information. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you. I'm going to go back to the result list and one more time remind you that you need to share with me a list of publications, not just one publication like this. Okay, so what I want to see is a list of publications like this with your keywords. That's the share you're going to share with me. Okay, just to remind you that you will be emailing that permalink to arand@southalabama.edu, and if you need any help at all, you can email me or call me at 461-1979. I appreciate your attention. Don't forget to come by the library and check out all the cool services and our new Learning Commons. Bye now.